guys, it's Kishan and I am back with another video. So I had my visa appointment last week and I just thought I'd make a quick video explaining how things went, what to expect, because a lot of you were DMing me asking me about the visa experience, and obviously this is my second year doing it, so I thought why not share a bit of information. So let's get on with the video. So, depending on your agency, I'm with Camp America and they sent me a visa pack which had instructions on how to register and also had my DS 2019. And I can't express, please keep this form safe. You will need it for your visa appointment, but you'll also need it for Social Security and entering the USA. Your DS 2019 should look something like this. You will then follow the instructions on how to apply for your visa on the US State of Department website. One thing about this embassy website, it will keep kicking you out. So don't worry if you think like it just refreshes and logs you out. It does do that. And it does do that for security purposes to say like, say you filled it out and you like left your laptop on and you went somewhere and someone was looking at your information. So basically it will log you out no matter what you do. So I recommend when you get to this point, do it on a desktop laptop or like a laptop. Yeah, instead of doing it on like a tablet or an iPhone, I would recommend definitely doing it on a laptop. Basically, at the beginning, it will give you a special like number. I think it begins with like AA. You will need this number to log in every single time. So what I did is I actually took a screenshot of that number. So every time I had to log back into the website, I could just look at my photos and find it instead of like thinking and kind of remembering or writing it down and losing like a sheet of paper. You will be asked to upload a photo, and obviously please make sure the photo you take fits the requirements, but also when you get it printed out is 5x5. This is the measurements that it needs to be. So it's not the same measurement as a passport photo. I repeat, it's not the same measurement as a passport photo. You know your local booths in like Tesco and Asda where you can print photos from your phones? They actually have a visa option where you can print this photo from your phone and it prints in the correct size and it gives you 2 copies which you will need to bring to your embassy appointment. Once you filled out your application on the website, you will get a confirmation page that you need to print off. Step 2 is to actually book your appointment. So you will then go onto the embassy website and you will book your appointment. It kind of looks like this and you select what country you're from and it will tell you the nearest embassy to where you live. So once you've done that, it will ask you for your number, the AA number that you got from your application to fill in the next step. So just know that before you actually book an appointment, you have to pay. So make sure that you have the sufficient funds in your account to get to that point. And honestly, guys, if you haven't had your visa appointment by now, I would highly recommend that you do. On to the next step, it will give you 2 options. You can either have your passport delivered to a near pickup point. However, there's only 2 in the UK, which I believe one is London and one is Manchester. Or you can pay £21 to get it delivered back to your house. I did the £21 option and I'm so glad I did it. I did it last year and I did it again this year. I went to my appointment on a Friday and I got my passport back by the Tuesday. So I was so relieved. Whilst the pickup point, I'd have to go all the way to London, pay for a train ticket, pay for the underground, and then walk or get a taxi to the pickup point, which is obviously going to be more than £21. So if you're not near any of the pickup points, I would definitely recommend just paying this a bit extra and getting it delivered to your house. You know, you can track it and it tells you and it sends you updates like it's now left, it's on its way, it's coming today between this time. You know, I just find it so much easier and, you know, I was okay, like I knew where my passport was. This option should come up near checkout, and once you pay for your visa, a massive calendar comes up and you can select your day and your appointment. So from my knowledge, now the US Embassy is only doing J1 visas on a Friday. So yeah, appointments are quite like scarce to guess. However, they're doing like loads and loads of appointments during the day, so I wouldn't worry. When you get to this point, and if there's no dates, don't worry, because the embassy release the dates that they're available weekly. So you have to keep like going on the website and checking every day or every other day that when they release appointments. And sometimes they might release 3 times, like 9 o'clock, 8:30, 8 for example. And then later on in that week, they might release more times. So I would ensure that once this is booked, you go onto your checklist and make sure you print literally every single thing off. So you will need a letter of support from your agency, which basically states that they are sponsoring you in order to get to America, your CVIS receipts, just loads of different documents that you will need, and you will need to bring a letter of proof that you are returning to the UK. This can be kind of hard for a lot of people like me who aren't in education. I am in a full-time job, so I got a letter from my workplace just explaining that when I return to the UK, I will be returning back to work. You can literally say if there's a wedding or an important birthday that's coming back, that you're coming back for that. If you pay rent for an accommodation or a house, a letter of your lease like saying that this payment will be due and you need to be back by that time. If you've got a graduation, if you're a uni person and you're in like a halls of residence or accommodation and like your new contract starts, that'll be perfect because I'm sure like you can move in from August, September, which is usually when camp ends. So you can just say I'm going back to move into my new uni accommodation. Car insurance to pay, student finance to pay, anything like that will be okay to use for proof of evidence. So once you have officially booked your appointment, you are now on to step 3, which is actually going to the appointment and getting your visa. So I'm going to talk through that. A lot of you were asking like what I need to wear to my embassy appointment, and honestly, you don't even need to dress smart. I literally had a hoodie on and some jeans, and some trainers. Like, you don't need to dress smart. You're not going into a room to do like an individual interview or anything. So anything really, really casual. So don't stress about having like these posh clothes like you're going for like a job interview or anything. So I actually stayed in a hotel because I was in London the day before my appointment for dance. So I thought I might as well, to stay over. So my appointment was at 9 a.m. and I woke up really early to get the tube in to get to my appointment. So the nearest tube stations are Nine Elms and Vauxhall. So Vauxhall is on the Victoria line and I can't quite remember what Nine Elms was. I think Northern Line. Do not quote me on that. But yeah, and they're both about a 10-minute walk to the embassy. So I got there for 8:30 and my appointment was at 9. But let me just tell you, when your appointment is not specifically designated to you, it's designated to a group of people. So a lot of people will be booked on a 9 a.m. slot. So instead of an appointment, it's really a slot, if that kind of makes sense. So when I got there, there was a really long queue. Yeah, and I was in this queue for literally probably about an hour. And it was raining, so it was kind of just not great. But yeah, I met a few people in the queue, some friends and some people that go into my camp. And I just had all my documents literally in a plastic wallet. So then you will go to a tent and there'll be people at the desk and they'll ask to see your confirmation page and your passport. They then squiggle something on it. I don't know what it was. I think it's your time. And you then are designated to join another queue, which then gets you into the embassy. So once you join the other queue, I was in this queue for probably about 20 minutes. You go through security and they ask you to open an app on your phone and you get let in the building. And when you're in this building, you do security like an airport. You have to take your belts off and everything. You're not allowed to bring in any really big rucksacks or any suitcases. So I would recommend bringing like a tote bag. That's what I had with all my stuff in. But there is a cafe nearby where you can pay £10 to leave your bags there if you're like staying over or whatever. But just know that I had a checkout that was later, so I could leave my stuff at the hotel that I was staying in. Once you've gone through security, you were then actually let through another set of doors which lead into the embassy itself. You were then forced to join another queue. I was in this queue for literally like 10 minutes. It wasn't that bad. And you go to the desk and you have to show your passport and your forms, and you'll get given a number and a big sticker that they just stick on your passport. You were then directed to a lift and you got upstairs into the embassy. So once you are here, there's usually someone that stands at the doors of the lift and directs you to the seating area. And whilst you're in the seating area, you kind of just wait for your number to be called. This number is on the sticker that I've just said they stick on your passport. And like loads of numbers are coming up and it will say, for example, can number 32 go to booth 6? Because there's all these booths in a row, and you just kind of wait behind the person that's in front of you that's doing their getting their checks done, and then you'll get called to see the person. So this isn't your actual appointment. This is just them putting your things through the system. So the person I spoke to was really nice. He just kind of asked to see all my papers, my DS-29T, my confirmation, my CVIS, my letter of support and my photos. He kind of just typed this all up, and I was then asked to do my thumbprints and fingerprints. So they have like a little machine here where you like scan your fingers and you scan your thumbs. And I remember when I went to America, I had to do the same thing at the border. And yeah, they ask for your photo, they scan it in this thing and it gets put on their computer, and then you're given your papers back and directed to the other side of the room where you will have your actual appointment with the person. So guys, with this interview, you do not need to stress. It's like, mine was literally 5 minutes long. It goes so quick and it's not even like that deep. You just like, so I would recommend just don't stress about it. So yeah, I sat down and I waited for my number to be called and the booth for me to go to. I went to a woman. I believe all these people in this interview are actually American. She asked me what camp I was going to. She asked me what job I had. I didn't even have to show her my proof. I just said, yeah, I'm coming back to my job. And she was like, yeah, okay. And she actually asked me what I'm doing on camp and if I enjoyed it last year. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm returning and all that stuff. And then, bish, she signed it and I was done. Took my passport and I was literally done. That was it. It was literally over in 5 minutes. It's literally nothing to worry about. Like I said, it's no stress. Just know what camp you're going to and just know what job role you're doing. Like, it's so simple. I was then directed to the lift and I went downstairs and that was literally it. America hired out the Alchemist, which is opposite the embassy, where you could go in, you could get a t-shirt, and basically you just sit with one of the members and they just like ask you how it went, put on their system that it's been approved. They also had an open tab, so I got a hot chocolate. It was so cool. Anyway, and yeah, they just say like, oh, this is all you need to do next or you're good to go. Like, and it was literally, guys, it was over. That was literally it. It was over. So this embassy appointment is literally nothing to worry about. There's no stress and you know, it's just nice and easy. And obviously I put all my papers that I had back into an envelope and a plastic wallet just so I can bring that to camp with me. So my top tips for your visa appointment. Tip number 1, make sure that you have all your documents printed off and put together in a plastic wallet. Will literally do the job. Just something cheap. I got this in Wilkinson's for literally £1 for a packet. So yeah, just something like this to keep your documents safe in. My second tip will be to follow the checklist and make sure you've got every single thing on that list. You do not want to go to the embassy and miss a thing and be sent back and have to come back another day. So please make sure you check your checklist and have every single thing on the checklist. Tip number 3 would be to get to the embassy as early as you can. Obviously not 5 or 6 or 7 hours early, but obviously an hour to an hour 45 before your appointment, because you have the queues outside, but you can be let in early and be in and out within an hour and a half. Tip number 4, obviously this is optional and I'm not forcing you to do it, but if you don't live near any of the pickup points, I would recommend paying that extra £21 for delivery to get your passport back super speedy and just have a peace of mind knowing that your passport's back and your visa is confirmed. Tip number 5 would be, as soon as you have your visa appointment, put all, like when I say all, every single one of those sheets that you brought with you back in that plastic wallet and keep that safe for camp, because I would obviously bring that with me, because a lot of the stuff you will need at the US border and you will also need for social security at your camp. So make sure you keep all your papers safe in that plastic wallet. Another thing I would say is, guys, please do not worry. When you get your passport back, it says end date in the visa. That will be the day you finish camp. So don't worry. That's not the day you have to leave America. That's just the day that you can no longer work in the USA from. So, for example, mine says 12th of August, which is the last day that I'm on camp. And I've got until the 12th of September to then leave. So don't get it back and be like, oh my gosh, it says 12th September or 12th of August. And, you know, that's the day I want to stay in America longer than that. No, guys, do not worry. That day is just the day that you finish employment, yeah? I remember when I first got mine back, I emailed Camp America and I was like, oh my gosh, it says this. And they were like, that's fine. I just thought I'd put that out there because that is a worry that I'm seeing a lot of people have. So remember, the end date is from that day. You've got a month to leave America. So guys, I hope this video was kind of helpful. I hope I kind of, explained what kind of goes on in the embassy and what I did and how it kind of works. And I hope I have put some of you at ease. Yeah, so if you've got any questions, obviously feel free to DM me on Instagram. My DMs kind of broke, because I get so many messages, they weren't coming through. So if you have messaged me and I haven't seen it, please message me again so I can answer your questions. And, make sure that you follow my TikTok. and make sure that you follow my Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, I am doing a giveaway. I am giving away a Camp America t-shirt, this lovely t-shirt here, and I am giving away a Camp America wristband, which kind of just goes on your wrist like you're at a festival, which is really, really cool. If you would like to enter my giveaway, go over to my Instagram on this post here and simply follow the instructions. But yes, like I said, I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next video. Over and out.